don't know if you guys have any questions that you may want to ask me, or concerns, or anything. Don't. There's only a few of us here, so don't. Do you want the mic?
No. Why do you want to share?
Why do I want to be a sheriff?
Why do you want to share?
I am not. I want to be sheriff because I believe the sheriff's position has access to things that could help many. I'm not doing it for the power. I'm not doing it to be called sheriff. I'm not doing it for the money. Okay? I'm doing it because I'm a people person. I have good rapport with the people that work there. I think I have that personality to encourage. Over my years of coaching, I've had success, huge success, and it's because I encouraged my players. I encouraged them. We did recognize the mistakes. We recognized the mistakes so that if they ever come again, we don't have the same results. I believe that you have to recognize the mistakes to gain. And then you also have to recognize the positive things. It's about community. We have these addictions. You know, I put out there that I was going to give part of my salary back to the community for these addictions for the full term that I was there. And the reason I did that is because I personally had people texting me saying that they would donate. They would donate if there was somehow that I could put it so that it wasn't like, you know, when we had 9/11 and all these different groups were popping up and people were giving money and then the money was getting scammed away. So it's got to be a legitimate organization that will help all the, here I go again, all the addictions. So, and then if others see me doing it, maybe they'll reach in their pockets and give money. But it's about the community. You know, I worked at a place that I saw that could just be so much more. And I'm a proactive person. I go for things. I grab the bull by the horns and I go and get it. You know, you gotta try. You gotta try until somebody tells you you can't do it. You know, and honestly, I'm tired. I was tired of the sheriff's department being, I wouldn't say the laughing stock, but being looked at as such a negative in the community. Okay, we are the jail. We're the place where you go when things go bad. Okay, I think that we could be a positive thing. We could be in the community doing this, this, and this on a positive level. And the people will recognize this and go, oh yeah, by the way, they're also in the lockup. But they see this first. You know, there's no transparency. You know, nobody knows anything. I want it all out there. You know, I want everything out there. I want people to be accountable. You know, what are you doing? What does your job entail? What are you doing day to day? I want, even for myself, you know, I was in Boston. I was with the chiefs of police. I was with the senior centers. At least you know what I'm doing. It's when people don't know what's going on, that's when they have the most questions. If people can see everything that's going on and look, and this is the budget, your budget is what? Here it is. Why do you spend your money here? Why do you spend your money there? You can say, but when nobody knows anything, you know, I think that's the problem, you know.
I just wanted to follow up on that. I went to, when the MD Dems sponsored their candidates thing with you and Mr. Ogden, and one of the reasons I went was because I really had no idea what the sheriff's office did,
Yes.
apart from the jail, and I learned a fair amount there, but now I'm curious, you mentioned about wanting to be more visible. What sort of things do you think the sheriff's office could and should be doing to more visible in the general community that might not have all that much connection with the justice system?
I know when I was a police officer, I was gonna try to start a police athletic league for the youth of our community, and I got to thinking, I was like, well, maybe we can start, I call it SAL, because it would be the SURE, and it would be an activity league. Excuse me. Not every person is athletic, but activities. Now, with the kids that we have, we need to reach out and see, you have the kids who are athletic, you have the kids who are computer kids, you have kids who are mechanics. I'm not, any groups, Gothic, just in order to get their involvement into it, you gotta come down to their level and see what they like. So I would like to try to start that. I know that we have the Alzheimer's and dementia. I know that we have a recovery when they do get lost. How about we do something before they get lost? I know that there's that technology out there. We have I wouldn't say, I don't know the population size as of the ages, but we have a large senior group, and it was brought to my attention at that forum about the File for Life, or is it File for Life? That they keep on the refrigerators. Maybe that's something that we would do on a monthly basis, go by and make sure that they have updated, just different programs. You have to get out to see what's needed. It's not what I think is needed, it's what the community needs. So you have to get out in the community and be seen and talk to people. That's what I did at Niantic Park. I was around there all the time just talking to people. What would you like to see? What wouldn't you like to see? And I took a little bit of everything that people said and put it into the park, because it's the majority, the majority of the people, you have to go with what's needed the most, not just a few or the one. You have to go with the majority of what's needed. I know that I would like to reach out to other sheriffs to see what they have in their community. My brother, my sister-in-law works, she consults up in Suffolk County they have a coalition up there with re-entry into society for those who are incarcerated. I'd like to find out what that's all about, so I can maybe, see if it can come here. I know that we have programs, we have work release. I think that the people that we put back out in the community, they need to be around people. I think it's, how can you say that you've got somebody out in the community when it's just one-on-one all the time? How is that person gonna act when they're around more people? I think we need to have people who are incarcerated out in the public in big settings to see how they are, so they can integrate back in. I don't have the degrees. I have a PhD in treating people, right? I don't have a piece of paper, but my life experiences, and I build relationships with people. I've done it for a very long time, and that carries on a lifetime. In my work experience, I've had juveniles go to jail, and I would not let them stay in jail. I would take them home and make sure that they got to juvenile court and found it. I've done that several times. I've never broken the law in a sense, but I haven't followed policy, let's say. Okay. And I did what I thought was right. It wasn't right in the eyes of the higher ups, and it penalized my pocket. But at the end of the day, at that night, I know that I did the right thing, and I helped somebody. When I become sheriff, I would, if that was somebody else's scenario, I would probably handle it a little differently than I was handled. So, the sheriff's department's gonna be a work in progress, and I think it can be done. I know it can be done, it's just